working with the children, helping them to get a better understanding of what the skills are they're going to need to cultivate in order to be effective and dealing with the realities of life. So we're here in Lundale, and we're working with children who are at risk, trying to reduce that risk. So they're teaching the mentors how to cook, and the mentors are teaching them how to succeed in life. So that's what you'll be seeing a little bit of and hearing a little bit of. All right.
Is that Johnson or Charles?
See if there's old tricks.
What are you showing them how to do there?
They're actually showing me.
They're teaching you?
Yes. How to
Cream chicken?
and they're telling me
Now what are you doing? What are you cutting off? I thought people like to eat the fat. I thought people like to eat that.
I don't think we used to eat stuff in this program. We learned to eat healthy. That's why we got to cut the fat off.
Oh, okay. Are you the instructor? You the instructor, right? What is he doing?
I think it would help with insurance.
You making up a salad?
Yeah, he's cutting up the green onions for a salad. They're all cutting up one of the vegetables to make a salad. Chicken wraps.
That instructor it again.
I'm out of my element with this, man. I just saw it all in and cut in on time.
Who else do you want to work with? Nobody got it.
You a cooking instructor,
You
right?
work with. She said nobody. Okay, Zester, you got somebody.
You the instructor, right?
No, I'm not. I'm the nutrition instructor, not the kitchen instructor. I have no skills back here except eating.
Is you working or are you courting up here?
Yeah, I'm working. I'm learning how to chef a little bit.
Okay. All right. All these young girls up here, I thought you was courting a little bit. All right. Okay. What are you doing, Mr. Junior?
I'm cutting these carrots. I'm helping cut these carrots so they can cook evenly. So that they don't, some of them don't be hard, some of them be too soft. I cut them too big the first time.
Yeah, they'll be ready to go on after yeah, and the chicken is in there too. Everybody right.
Girls in the hood.
Don't put that on tape. Don't put that on tape.
Too late. I got that.
You better edit that out.
No, that's a good part.
Okay. Let me see. Oh Lord. Anybody want to do something?
Down on the left?
That's Jay Breeze. That's Jay Breeze.
I'm gonna look over here.
Right. Right. You? Right? Because we got enough of the business that we asked for. Right? I'm trying to put them on hold. You think you need to go? See my back. Give me your information. You need to go in this hole. Give me a copy. All right.
Thank you, y'all. Y'all go do that. I said thank
I know somebody didn't put this back up in this box in this area.
Let's get you a big bowl. We're not going to use the shredder.
That's for you burning chips. You done started with
Y'all got to collaborate to make sure what's going on, because otherwise it's going to be out of.
You have to give me an action. I'm on the
Y'all got
cookie.
a sweet tooth.
I'm working with the cookie crew.
Sounds like y'all burning stuff, huh?
Now I already burned myself one time, but it was just a little bit. I'm learning. I learned what you do with the vegetables to make them keep their color and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah?
But I'm going out and get me a job when I finish. Let's see. Don't be disappointed. It happens sometimes. That's why it's good to work with a partner. We'll get on some high help. Don't worry about it. Okay.
where the other ones go? Only this pan? Yeah, the other one ain't no.
No, these are little boxes and they should, but the chip is the chip. It ain't all the way. You know how to eat it.
Carson, is you? Are you working or you just getting phone numbers? What's going on, Charles?
How you doing? Just give it back.
Just giving back.
Gotta let the young folks know.
Y'all going to broccoli, huh?
Yeah, gotta let them young folks know. We used to do that. Someone just sit whatever, sit,
You know we were.
work hard. Still am. Still poor. Still got bills. Wife still getting on my nerves, but I'm still here.
Alright,
what we doing now?
We just
Yeah, let's get something about this. Let me see what else.
Why not North Carolina A&T? We got the greatest song coming on earth. Ask around. We got the greatest song coming on earth. Everybody.
You got to do everything according to what your boss wants.
There's no problem.
But you got chicken, don't you?
Yeah, that's for the rest.
Okay, I don't care what you want.
Probably can be right here.
Okay, Delicia.
If you got a whole lot of people in there, don't call the ones you know. Dad, get your hips back over here. It's right over here where you usually are. You're trying to get away. I know how you work. Thing is another place. You're down south.
What's your name, bro? I mean, like, you trying to be a chef?
No, I'm not. Well, you just come here when you get ready, huh?
We're gonna dress you up. Just find you a person back there, find a young lady, right? And I'm gonna try to introduce you to her and just check. The ideal is that we want to help them understand what it's going to take to make that transition from teenagers to adulthood and help them get button it up. Keep button up. Okay, don't mess with it. All right. All right. You need a handy? Alright, that's better. Did you let Sakiani know about this?
I went by his house to see if he needed
Say
a
no, say
ride.
no more. I understand. We ain't gonna let them ruin our day.
Okay, okay. I said, well, you know, hey, you know,
You know.
you could have came.
Now this is a hobby or?
No, I'm in the field. Oh, you in the field? Where you Chef Mariano? Chef Mariano. Oh, shit.
Oh, you real deal.
Yeah.
Oh man, so this is really good for these kids. You know, are you giving them the reality about those, what it's going to take? Because we have some that really want to be shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely find out who it is and talk to him.
They gonna have to really understand. I know they ain't got the speed. I don't even know
That comes with it, because I mean, I started out saying that, man.
but they got to get the legs.
Yeah, long hours.
Long hours.
About 9 hours a day on your feet.
So that's all. We had a couple of kids come out here really good and go straight on to the hotel. Okay. So that's a good one.
Right, yeah.
But some are naive, you know what I mean? They don't understand that slow cutting.
Right, exactly. It's all about speed. That's all back there cutting the pineapple every time.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
Hopefully, next year or so, you know, we do this more and more, maybe you can find time to go over it. I really appreciate that. All right, very good. Yeah.
Y'all done making cookies?
But it's one more thing but it doesn't have to go up there. It's going to go straight here. Straight here. Did you take yourself now?
No, I didn't take
Somebody
myself.
got to take you.
No, that's good.
We got to see you in your chef outfit. Well, I've got the chef outfit on. Check him out. Excuse me.
Oh, we got this guy back here
I'm a
now.
coordinator. Chop, chop. Let's get it to work.
No.
He tried to time.
Dress him up.
He tried to time that for eating.
Ain't gonna be that easy.
All right, so let's see what you got. Tonight, I'm trying to slow down. Tip of the night, it's a rock night. Tip of the night, we're looking at it all
Oh, she raised it up.
Take time. Placement of everything is awesome.
And you seem like you're doing this to the chicken, just push it out.
That's it. Get a nice grip.
I think Chauncey over getting phone numbers more than anything else. I think he's getting phone numbers more than anything else.
This is Phil Hand. Phil Hand. Smile.
Phil Hand.
Man of the year.
fabric and shoes, see how they want to do it. That's what you give them their fit. Put in your wheel, and if that's what they want to do, they get somebody to come in and do it. Big business. Big business. Somebody, say 3 big business.
I'm supposed to be supervising, nigga. I ain't supposed to be back here doing this. Hey, is this more yogurt? Yeah. Here, could you do me a favor? Look over here for another can of yogurt. Here, do me a favor. Look up there and see if there's a small can of black olives.
He's St. Louis. I knew that'll make him look. That'll make him look.
They similar to you. They go, they want to that supervisor, IDOT. They work, they do all that. Jose, what you want to do, man? What if that don't work out? What if that don't work out?
That means like 5 people on your nigga rap, right?
Five people on rap. 5 people niggas on rap.
All it takes is having a point. You follow me? I got that. You got insurance. You got insurance.
Everybody wants your coffee? No. This ain't it, is it?
Hey, somebody needs to put some glass wrap on this salad that's sitting down the way.
Hey, Chef, we're gonna put this. We're gonna put. Hold tight. We're gonna put. I'm putting something else on top of it. Ain't no
Chef, the puree machine not working.
Hey, you Not stuff coming through. Not stuff. I'm getting out the way.
Now, give me that camera. Take you.
Yeah, let who you belong.
Yeah, let.
Yes, sir.
Let me give her where you are so I can shoot down the line. Yeah, that's they rapping it wrong, but that's what
I thought you were supposed to be those things.
well, no, I want mine up so they'll fold. If you do it cold, it tends to break up.
Maybe we get some more tomatoes.
They wait for the wrap coming through. What we got here? What we got here? We wrapping. We wrapping now? I got a wrap for you.
So I cut it on the side.
I already told me you. Restaurant business, you can't give them a whole lot. You gotta make a profit.
We still got maybe a half an hour. But what the ideal is just that you move in and just connect with the student. I introduce you to a couple of them. And the ideal while they're cooking, that gives you an opportunity to size your mind. Okay, this is a contract, so it's sort of like an alternative. So we take students that are still in the regular high school. Some of us. Now we're not going to have them after Thursday. They only on. So what we try to do, the best we can, is to grab them while you talk to them. I have a little bit about this, about yourself, and then start trying to give them some suggestion on what skills they need to really develop in order to succeed in adulthood. That's where they're going to go.
That's where they get ready to go. Yes.
And that's going to be how they succeed as they college. They're going to hit that wall of reality of adulthood, bills, rent, bosses, and they need to know how to handle it.
Yeah, yeah.
And if not, they're going to bounce back down, they're going to be out there.
Yes. Okay.
So that's the spirit, you know. So you have to kind of weave your way into the conversation.
Okay.
And then later on, after we eat and all of that, then we're going to break up into groups, and then we're going to get a little bit more structure.
Beautiful.
We won't have but that's why I want you to kind of get to know them. You have a sense so that when we do get together, we can collectively put in.
Beautiful, beautiful. Great.
All right, put on your...
Tweaking, man. Don't touch it. Don't put it on your Don't take your hand off the floor and put it on the table. I don't know what happens, man. You just gotta pay attention.
They're wrapping them up, so they're going to be starting any minute. Well, they're going to be eating out here. Did you want to work? Did you want to help wrap them?
No.
Oh, we just want to eat, right? Yeah, all right, okay. I know they're going to be bringing them out. They said they're going to have it out here. This is where they're going to eat at. All right.
Emerald got we don't pay for this. Time off of their work and regular job. All right, now what we do here? What we do here? Yeah, 4.5 weeks, right?
You've been working ever since you stopped working, huh?
That ain't me making big rap.
I know, but that's how they, even though you don't get there early. It's like
We actually live there. We still sleeping with that. Everybody's fine.
That's what's coming. It's crazy.
Then you don't keep them there.
I know they're on camera.
And so first and foremost, want to thank our students. You all did a terrific job. So give yourself a big hand. Did well. So I'm just going to lay out the direction, and then I'm going to let the mentors in the room in their own way go from here. And I'll be popping in and out, offering some suggestions here and there. But basically, what the mentors are here to help you do is to really start getting some real insight into those types of skills you're going to need to cultivate in order to help you deal effectively with the reality of adulthood. Adulthood is a whole different reality. Now, we talked a little bit about that just together yesterday. We talked about some of the reality that you're going to be confronted with as you make the transition from your adolescent stage to adulthood. We talked about livelihood. You're going to have to get a job, and you're going to have to make enough money to support yourself. And if you're going to have a family, you're going to need to factor that in as well. So there's some real tasks of life that you're going to be dealing with. I'm just going to list some of them, and then mentors, you all kind of work the way that you want to work with this here, because all of us have gone through these stages. I'm just going to outline some of the basic tasks of life that every adult will have to learn how to deal with. And in fact, the ability to deal with them is going to determine to what degree your life is going to be fulfilling. It's a lot of psychology in it, but we're not going to get into that now. The mentors, you are free, if you like, to add the psychology of it all. Tasks of adult life. First task, love. You're going to have to develop those kind of characteristics and qualities that will motivate somebody to love you. You see? Because I think we all out of room. Thanks, Jay Breeze. Jay Breeze, you want this stool? You take my stool. So the task of love, because eventually your parents going to die. That's the last free love you're going to get. You see, in the real world, you're going to have to earn somebody's love. They're not going to give it to you just because you are who you are. That stops with your mom and your dad, your siblings. Task of love, okay? Second task of life, a livelihood. You got to make some money, okay? And you got to make enough money to have a decent life. That's going to require some of you. One of the good things all of you have learned is that you got to get education. We're so proud that all of you, every last one of you, came through that door with all kinds of obstacles in your life. And mentors, you need to know that about these kids. These kids went through hell and high water to get here, to get their high school diploma and these sanitation licenses. So they got the right stuff. They just need you to give them some information that will help them stay moving in the positive direction. So livelihood, you got to make some money. It's very simple, right? And make money in a way that is not going to lead you to getting locked up. Because this is the holy city. You know how young people make money out here, right? That ain't the right way to get that money. Livelihood, that can be career, et cetera, et cetera. Third task of adult life, and everybody that makes the transition in adult life have to learn how to deal with these tasks of life, okay? You got to be able to have that kind of personality to get the help you're going to need in life. Nobody makes it by themselves. That's not possible. Everybody needs some help. So you're going to have to cultivate those personal qualities and characteristics and virtues that will make others willing to help you. If you got a messed up attitude, ain't nobody going to help your ass. You see? You got to have the right kind of attitude. You got to be the right kind of person if you're going to get other people to go out of their way to help you. You got to get that, okay? Because you're going to need some help in life. The fourth one is loss. Otherwise, the most ultimate form, we call it death. You're going to lose something, and you're going to lose somebody in life. That's reality. And you're going to have the ability, the psychological and emotional strength to handle loss. Now, you see every day in the paper, people lose their job, blow their brains out. They didn't have what it takes to deal with life. Because in life, you might lose a job. Now what you're going to do, kill your damn self? Everybody going to lose a loved one, sooner or later. Your mama, your daddy going to die. You going to die. See? So you got to start living life factored in the reality. You're not going to be on this planet forever. Nobody is, right? So these are the basic tasks of life. Now, I'll leave it to the mentors to unravel that in their own way. And I think, mentors, if you would take turns coming up, And you can go in any order. Roger Ritter, you my hunt here, and make sure every mentor get a chance to speak to the audience. You don't have to come up front, you can stand in place. We all can focus back in on you. And maybe share with them your understanding, your wisdom relative to accomplishing these kinds of tasks of life. Would that be all right? Mm-hmm. We all on the same page? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, with that said, I'm going to exit here, and you all can get started. And, Mr. Andrews, you can select whoever you like. Or do you want me to do that too? Exit. Exit.
We'll get volunteers. Anybody have any questions about anything that you see?
It's not funny.
Right.
What's up, mentors? Why y'all ain't up? Mentors.
I'm going to point somebody.
Just play any, meeny, miny,
Well,
low.
I might well go to the next one.
These who went to college and all of that, we've had some success in this or that field of life, but that's not what qualifies us to speak to you. What qualifies us is we've been on the planet longer than you. We know some stuff. Are you with me? Yeah. And you are young people, you all are getting ready to move into the next phase of life called adulthood. That's going to require some knowledge. It's going to require some skill. And so the purpose of our coming together is for you to get that knowledge passed down to you. One of the greatest tragedies that has happened in our society is that we, as young folk, were cut off from the knowledge and wisdom of old folk, you see? So we are trying to do life like you know what it's all about. You're 16 years old. You ain't even been on the planet but a minute, you see? And the task of adolescence is to overcome your tendency to delude yourself into presuming you've grown. Because you done smoke some weed and have some sex. That ain't got nothing to do with being grown, you see. So I thought that the best way to help you is to bring some grown people here so that they can discuss with you what it really takes to succeed at this thing called adulthood. Now there's certain tasks of adulthood that everybody's going to be challenged to deal with. You got to handle that. Guys, remember that you're only a teenager for 7 years. If you live to 80, you got to do 60-something years being grown. Now I know this might be a little adult for some of you. It might be difficult for you, but at least be respectful. You see? But what you can't be is silly. Okay? People have taken time to be here to share this knowledge with you. You see what I'm saying? If I come through that door and I'm bleeding and all shot up, and I tell you don't go through that door, man, you probably should listen to me. Look at me, I'm all shot up. Probably something on the other side of that door you don't want to deal with. It's like that. It's like that. So there's certain tasks of life that you're going to have to deal with. I'm just going to scratch them out. Excuse me, son. You're good. You all good. Just certain basic tasks. Now I'm going to leave it up to the mentors in the room to break this down for you. Okay? Because they're very capable of doing that. And I ask each mentor to do it in your own way, so let's take turns, you see, going around it. For those in the house, you all understand that we're going to cool it this day, okay? So make sure that each mentor get a chance to share their knowledge relative to how to go about accomplishing these tasks of life. The tasks of life, adult life. This is what you must have the ability to do. First one, you're going to have to find somebody that really loves you. No fooling, no kidding. Not somebody to just have sex with. That ain't what we're talking about. Really love you. That's going to require you to be a type of person that's got those kind of qualities and characteristics that will motivate somebody to love you in the first place. So like if you're an asshole, you're probably going to have a hard time finding somebody that is interested in loving an asshole, to keep it straight. But you're going to need somebody to love you. Can't make it without love. Number 2, livelihood. You have to make your own living. You see? Eventually. You got to make your own living. Mom and daddy can't take care of you for the rest of your life. As long as your mom and daddy taking care of you, that deprive you of the status of an adult. You're still a kid. You may be 40 years old. There's some 40-year-old kids who mom and daddy still taking care of them, still asking their mama for $2 to get some new squares. Follow what I'm saying? That's a person that never made it into the adult reality at all. You gotta make a living. You gotta know the importance of that. You gotta know what you need to do that, and so forth and so on. 3, help. You gotta become a kind of person that other people will be willing to help, to cooperate with you. Nobody makes it by themselves. That's a myth. It's not you do you, I do me. That's a myth. That ain't how that goes. You see? In Africa, we have always said, I am because we are because I am. We in this thing together. You see? You help me, I help you. That's how we get things accomplished in life. But if you're not that kind of person that other people are willing to help, you're going to have a hard time. Because you can't do this by yourself. Life is way too difficult to do by yourself. Plus, you got some imperfection, you got some shortcomings, you got some weaknesses. There's some things you can't do, and you're going to need some help. Like when you go to school, you can't do calculus. You don't need a teacher to help you to learn how to do calculus. You can't do it. And if you don't get the help, you'll never learn how to do it. So you got to have the right attitude and be that kind of person others are willing to help. 4th task of adulthood in real life is that you're going to have to learn how to deal with the reality of loss. Otherwise, death. Loss. You're going to lose something. Now you see in the newspaper every day somebody lose their job, they blow their head out. They weren't ready for adult reality. The adult reality, you're going to lose stuff. You're going to lose people. You're going to lose jobs. You're going to lose material possession. And you must have that kind of emotional stamina to handle loss. And then ultimately, of course, you're going to lose somebody to death. Your mama going to die, your daddy going to die, your best friend going to get popped out there. You understand what I'm saying? And if you can't handle that loss of your best friend getting popped, you're going to get angry, spin out of control, jump in your car, and you're going to go do a little something, right? And you're going to get caught, because we're always going to catch you. Because the guys on the block going to tell us who you are to get some time taken away off their case. You understand what I'm saying to you? Right? Snitch is the new reality. So we're going to find out who you are. Now, your anger because you couldn't handle the death of your friend in a way that was psychologically healthy and nonviolent. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Right? Y'all from Holy City, y'all understand what I'm saying here, right? This is your reality. You better learn how to handle it. So, with that said, I'm going to turn it over to the mentors, and I again thank you guys for coming out today. I really, really, really appreciate y'all being here. And I want you to holler at them. These kids that have graduated in our last semester here have gone through hell to do that. They have overcome obstacles in their life that we could not even imagine. Can't even conceive of. And they went through that, and they came here, and they got their piece of paper. You follow me? And they got their sanitation licenses. You know, so they got the right stuff. You just need to give them the right information so that that right stuff will take them to the top. So I ain't got nothing but respect and admiration for these young folk. You see? They come a long way. Y'all take them the rest of the way, okay? All right, with that said, Faraji, you want to make sure that every mentor in here get a chance to share with them their own experience and knowledge that might help them achieve these tasks of adult life. Fair enough, guys? All right, I'm going to pop in and out, and hopefully you'll have a good time. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to turn it over. You want to come and start off? You go first, and then you pass it on. Keep in mind, we need to be out of here by 2:30, so don't y'all get too long with it.
Well, Moses can't talk, man.
Then she can't talk. All right. Thank you.
That's when you push that down. What's easy much?
So you can tell them a little bit about yourself.
Right.
And so forth.
All right, let's you know what? Let's just kind of have like an open conversation and an open dialogue so that it don't feel like a level of stress. Thing you gotta understand about me is I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all, but I need you to keep it 100 with me. Fair? Is that fair? I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna bullshit you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. All right? When you start hearing about in terms of, first and foremost, one of the first and fundamental loves that you probably ever gonna have is the love of a mother. A lot of times that's not expressed, and a lot of times you may not feel that, because a lot of times the mother is not there. But that's that first and foremost love, right? But you got to understand what type of, you really got to look at yourself and say, what type of person would love me? And why would they love me? Y'all follow me? Mm-hmm. And so you look at it, you got to add it up for yourself, the type of person you are. Not what somebody else say about you, but the type of person you are. And you got to be real with yourself. Because the reality of it is, when like Dr. Ingram was talking about, you got to find somebody to love you. Here's the thing, especially fellas. Women can peep that up out of us before we even know it. You think you one way, and people are seeing you a totally different way. And that's what you got to come to grips with. You gotta be real with yourself. Otherwise, because ain't nobody gonna give you nothing. Let's be clear about that. Especially black men, us minorities, ain't nothing coming. It only gets tougher. It requires a level of perseverance that you ain't never seen in your life. Because what you gotta look at is, you gotta look at all the stuff that I'm bringing to the table, all the bad things that have happened to you up to this point. Now you gotta add life to it. Now you got to add being a man to it. And being a minority and being a man in 2013 and going forward is tough. Now you got to think about what you want to do. What type of job I want. Some of you all said, I want to be a rapper. Cool. I'm saying 100%. You like music, you like right. I'm saying 100% go for it. But what if that don't work? Then what? But that's what you got to come through the door with. You got to come through the gate with a backup plan. I remember coming up from East St. Louis. You know what I mean? I ain't even going to lie to you. I never thought that I was going to live to be 21. It's just that, it was just that type of time. You know what I mean? Crack cocaine hit East St. Louis way before it came up here to Chicago. I graduated in 1986. By 1984, the mayor of my city was on crack cocaine. They sold City Hall for $1. It was just that bad. Just trying to get back and forth to school was a challenge. Right? But I knew out the gate, I knew I had to get out. But I knew it was going to require some work. It wasn't all right. I ain't going to sit there and tell you it was rose. I ain't going to sit there and tell you I didn't get involved with that. I did. 100%. I was all the way in. Period. You riding, I'm riding. We in. It's just that I was just fortunate by grace that I didn't get burnt in the process. Shot at, all of that, it happens. But I had a bigger goal in mind. Right? I had somebody, real talk, I had somebody that had enough love for me. God rest his soul, his name Theodore Marsh. He was our wrestling coach in high school. He had enough love for me that he pulled me out. He seen that I was, you know what I mean, could probably, halfway decent in school. And so he pulled me out. Right? But if you don't find somebody, trust me, if your behavior is to the point where people won't even cooperate with you, if you think you're going to be successful, you fooling yourself. It ain't going to happen. Why? Because nobody want to work with you. You follow what I'm saying? What if you got a guy that's out there just bogus and bringing heat on you everywhere you go? Are you going to keep hanging around with him? No. Right? You got to be able to find somebody to help. And when you start thinking about, as he talked about the loss and death and all of that, it's tough. Especially us men. It's tough. Right? Because a lot of times, we hide our feelings. We do all of that, right? We don't want people to see that, we hurt and all of that. It's tough. But then what happens is that we don't want people to see it. We won't say it, but we'll go out there and do something foolish. Energy can't be destroyed, neither can it be created. It can only change forms. So I go from being hurt on the inside to, no, I'm not going to say nothing, but I go out there and do something dumb. I was just talking to a brother in there. Who was I talking to? I was talking to a brother in there. He said one of his guys just got 50 years. 50. 21 years old, just got 50 years over an argument. juice the guy 4 times and then stand over him and shoot him again. 50 years. He going in at 21. When he get out there, be 71. What he gonna do? What kind of job he gonna get? Life gone. But you got to be able to handle that. My mother died in 92. My father died in 93. My best friend died in 96 on the same day that my mother died in 92, June 1st. My brother died in 99. And my sister died September the 10th, 2012. I could have found every reason in the world, to rest on my Lord. I could find every reason in the world to justify being out here goofy. Every reason in the world. And people would have probably been like, yeah, wow, dude, that's a lot of life. But loss gonna happen. It don't mean you don't take your time, and it don't mean you don't grieve. It don't mean you don't go through the process. But you can't let loss stop you. Because guess what? One day, you gonna die. And that's the reality. If you're going to move yourself into adulthood, particularly as men, right, you got to think about, how am I going to move myself to that next level and be successful at it? Does that make sense, you all? We on the same page right now? Yeah. All right, we're going to open it up. Good brother.
You want me to go next?
Good brother.
All right. How y'all doing? My name is Martel. I'm 27. I am a chef. Been in the industry for 9 years.
He's a professional chef.
Yeah. What I can basically tell y'all, man, because I'm still young, just like y'all, I'm still growing. You know, it doesn't get any easier. You know, I didn't start out the top. I started out at Baker Square, making what, $7, $6 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Went through the same trials and tribulations all y'all went through. You know? But the thing is, you have to learn how to deal with it at the same time. I lost my father at a very pivotal point in my life. And, you know, realizing that you lose your father, I mean, some of y'all might not have your father in your life. But what I'm saying is that you do have to learn to deal with that loss, because it took me for a loop. You know, after I lost my father, next week I started showing up late for work, started heavily drinking, hanging out at night, not giving a care. But to have those motivational people in your life, those positive people in your life that you're always going to be around and keep in your life, that's what brought me back, you know. It was hard, I ain't gonna lie. It was hard. I mean, y'all lost some people in y'all life, right? Of course, everybody does. But you can't let that get you down. I mean, if I would have lost it there, who knows where I would have been at today. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't be in the position that I am today without having to go through that. It made me stronger. I took that as it seemed a negative, I took it and turned it into a positive. And that's what you have to do in a situation like that. I done been in court, been locked up. You know, not for only traffic stuff, minor traffic stuff, but still, I mean, that's still a bad image that you give off to people. It looks bad on resumes, looks bad on your history, looks bad everywhere, man. I'm here to tell y'all, man, that the point that y'all, the fact that y'all are sitting here right now listening and understanding what we're telling y'all, that's a positive, man. Y'all could be anywhere in the world right now. Y'all here though, right? So take that, I'm saying, take that and make it a positive and turn it into something, man. We're not just here wasting time. You know what I'm saying?
Me, my turn. Thank you all, first of all, for allowing us to come in and speak to you. My name is Darren Cornelius. That's my name by day. By night, they call me Franchise. I love to have fun. I love to party. This brother here is one of the members of our motorcycle club. And we get together and we enjoy each other. We share brotherhood. We share good times. We share, we share when we have, and we give to each other when we don't have. One thing about me in my professional life, I'm a plant manager in manufacturing. If you look at me, you say, wow, this guy's a plant manager in manufacturing. Yeah, I take off my earrings, I take off this vest, I put on my button up, and I go to work. I look at many of you, and I see me. I grew up on the west side of Chicago, lived there for 24 years, grew up in K-Town. I currently reside in Romeoville. I wanted to take my kids someplace different because I had lived that life. I still have family in Chicago. My sister lives off Jackson and Pulaski. She enjoys living there. She's strong in the neighborhood. She mentors people. And these are the types of things that, and settings that we want to continue to participate in. Like many of you, when I left high school, I had no clue. I didn't know what I was going to do. My dad said, "You going to college?" I went to Austin High School. Many of you know where Austin High School is, right off of Pine, Central over there. Worked one of the worst high schools in the city of Chicago. So after that, I was done with school. I said, "No, I'm going to go get me a job." I went and got a job, worked the job for 10 years. Job started working me. A great thing that happened to me, I had a mentor at this company, Board Warner. And the guy said, "Hey man, go to college, you're smart." I said, "Me?" No, because I lack confidence in it. I didn't always speak the way I speak now. But I went to school, and whether you buy into it or not, whether you think it's lame or not, it will change the way you interact with people. Education is key. I've gone on to get a bachelor's degree in organizational leadership, I have an MBA. I walk around with it in my pocket, but when I sit in certain rooms with certain individuals, I can have conversations on any level they can. The company that I work for, I'm the only African American or minority manager. The only one. And they didn't give me that job, I earned it. I work for a German-owned company. I've been fortunate enough to travel to Germany, France. I'm going to China in a couple months. The world is yours. There's so many opportunities out there. And until I'm a black guy from West Side Chicago, I'm driving down Hamlet in Germany. It blew my mind. I never thought I'd have those kind of opportunities, those kind of experiences. But until you get a chance to travel outside of your hood, you're not living. I was talking to a brother earlier, one of the chefs, and he touched my heart, and I was totally impressed by him. And he said one thing that kind of took me for a loop, and he said that he had took a case for a family member. I think back when I was a kid, because I'm a little bit older than this gentleman here. Believe it or not, I know. They sound pretty. But believe it or not, I have cousins, I have friends. They put themselves in situations. I was the only son. I could have gone in any direction. But I was fortunate enough that I listened. I listened to people like this gentleman. I listened to people like the doctor here. I was never closed-minded enough that I wouldn't listen to people. And you have to listen. Whether you buy it or not, one day the bell's going to go off, the light's going to come on. You're going to say, "Damn, what did I do with my life?" I'm sorry, ladies. But you're going to say, "Damn, what did I do with the last 20 years of my life?" If you don't have a story to tell to somebody, you've wasted a whole bunch of time. But again, I'm going to tell you the truth because I'm in a position now where I'm fortunate enough to hire people. I've hired 3 people. 3 of my brothers in my club work for me. So I'm in that position now. I remember I was in school getting my MBA, and Dr. Eugene Rinaldi, I'll never forget this guy. I'll wrap it up quickly. He said, "What are you going to do once you get this degree?" And we had people say, "I don't make money." Oh, listen to that. And I said, I just want to help somebody. And he said, "You got the answer." He said, "You're going to be very, you're going to be prosperous, you're going to grow, you're going to have all fortune, fame." I got it yet. It's working. But again, I just want to help some people. And if there's any of you, I heard one guy say he wanted to be a diesel mechanic. I just hired 3 people that graduated from UTI. Go to UTI. Go. I just hired 3 individuals that graduated from UTI. Amazing school. They have, when they popped they set their resume in front of me, I said, "I'll take all 3 of them. That's where you need to go." I will give you my number also. And we can connect. We can talk anytime you need to talk. If you need to be steered in a certain direction, I'll do that for you. But let's do that. Let's work together. Again, if one of you make it, go back and grab one, okay? Because that's what I'm all about. I think I've made some strides in a positive direction. I just want to pull a few more people with me. If there's any of you others interested in just talking sometime, I got business cards in my pocket. I'll give you one. Give me a call. I had 2 cell phones. I never business and fun. But I know I'd have good fun too. And I'm tell you how to have good fun. I'm tell you how to take care of business, because at the end of the day, you got to take this off and hang it up in the closet. You put your button down. There's 2 separates. And my brothers that work for me know. At work they call me, I don't tell them who, they call me boss. When we're riding on the bikes, they call me franchise, and they know there's a separation between the 2. Okay? But enough of that stuff. That is gonna come soon enough. Start living. We live, man. We have so much fun. I love these guys. I never had a brother until I got with these brothers. So stop watching Son of Anarchy. That's not what we do. It ain't real. All right, this is the kind of stuff we do. We come to talk to young brothers who, just like us, trying to make it. Trying to make it. And again, I thank you all for allowing us to come here.
My turn.
Cameraman, turn around.
I know you don't think you don't get to give nothing away.
Well, we're gonna do this. Well, I'm not as smart as he is, so don't be looking for that. You know, I'm from North Londale, and I just got a cotton field education, so to speak. But
Cotton field education.
basic.
I like that.
But well, you see this gray hair on my chin, right?
I feel you.
So that's my qualifications.
I'm trying to
And also, as I'm looking at the young ones, and I'm glad I'm in this room, because the last 15 years, I just retired the 1st of August. I worked in Cook County, and I did some time with juvenile. They used to do juvenile call, younger than you all are, 11, 12-year-olds. And then I watched them grow up. Unfortunately, I've seen some of them transition on into the adult side. And, you have illusion. You might have seen it on TV about Scared Straight and all of that, and you can imagine what you would do and whatnot. But when you do something out there in the street, and you go through that system, because I worked in, I work with prisoners every day, and they would be saying, after the initial stuff going, if you see a 21-year-old sitting there with a murder rap, he did something stupid, he shot at a car, he really ain't trying to hit nobody, he just showing out, bam! And you see him the next day, I mean, he's in a coma almost, they already done worked on him a little bit, because he's young, he's soft. You might think you hard out here on the street with a gun, you got to rap. But if you can't knuckle drill up in the jail, it don't mean nothing. And a lot of them out here I see, just from, raised in the suburbs and all this stuff, never had a real fight in their life. Now you up in the joint. You ain't got no gun, and you can't knuckle drill, you're going to be watching out Big Bubba's draws. That's what you're going to be doing. You ain't going to be allowed to stand up and pee. They're going to make you sit down and pee. Understand? That's waiting on you if you jump out there. So, you need to really think, like my brother just said earlier, you're only going to be a teenager for a short while. You're going to be growing a long time. And when I see you coming through the place, I'm seeing my young brothers, I'm seeing my grandkids coming through the place. And then try to get smart. I mean, try to think that you really know something. You don't know jack. You don't know jack. When you get out here and start seeing that stuff, most of them say, man, I should have just took my ass on in the house and laid down. That's what I should have did. I can't, because you was mad 1 second, boom, your whole life has changed. I'm going to not take up too much time, but not only do I deal with, was dealing, because I'm retired now, with the inmates as they coming in, I also have me on the side where I talk and communicate with prisoners, and it'll spread all around the country. So I'm talking to somebody that got natural life. I ain't never getting out. That's my age. I've been in jail all this time. I'm talking to young ones in their 30s, but they looking at 45 years to come. They, all I can say is that, man, I just wish I should have just went on. I should just let that go. But I don't stop my whole life. I'm wasting my life on some foolishness. I'm representing something. I asked the guys, what are you fighting about? What made that jump off? And it sounds so silly they embarrassed to even say it. I mean, like, for example, that good boy said, dude looked at me, riding with his girl, you know, and this is on Washington at night, riding with his girl by. I looked at him, I threw up a sign, he nodded that on officer, bam! Didn't hit the, he didn't hit the dude, killed the girl in the car. Now he's sitting there the next day, getting ready to go out and get his bond, his $1 million bond set on him. He's standing here, he don't know whether shit or go blind. It's over for him. It's over for him. You know, it's terrible. So listen to these people, they telling you real. I'm telling you from the inside, it's not pretty. If you mess around and you blow this chance and you go to jail, just remember, Steve Ingham, Deputy Ingham told you, you should have let that go. Because, believe me, you do not want to go through that. You do not want to go through it. That scared street is just, that's almost for TV. Why they get all the way up to you and then say what they're going to do, and then the camera, you know, the people stop them. No, they ain't going to be stopping you. We're going to
mix it up a little bit.
You're going to learn. You're going to learn today, you know. So if you plan on being tough, you better go and learn how to knuckle drill, because you ain't going to have you ain't going to have no gun up there. And you ain't never had no real fight. We used to have real fights in North Londale back then. So you would have to learn how to do all of that. But now, you get any little poop or run out with a gun and shoot and get a rep. Get a rep. You're a killer. You know, like he's real bad. But when he get out there, mess up, go to jail, I'm telling you, you ain't gonna
liven up the conversation a little bit and mix it up.
Oh.
And let the ladies tell you a little bit of something.
All right. Thank you all for listening to me.
Ladies, share a little bit with you. My name is Juanita Andrews. I'm a legal secretary for the last 25 years. Prior to that, I worked as a communications officer at the police department from the time I was 17 to the time I was 25. So I want to talk about the task of life, the first about love. One of the things that I learned and that I've tried to give to my sons, because I'm a mother of, I have 10, 4 I birthed into the world and 6 by marriage. 5 boys, 5 girls. One of the things about love that you gotta be able to do in order to have love is you gotta be able to have some ability to sacrifice something. Something about yourself. You gotta be able to sacrifice. You gotta be able to give. You gotta be able to understand. Those are some of the things that attract a woman, is that when she can know that you understand what she's talking about and that you're willing to sacrifice for her welfare. That's one of the things that was taught to me by my father and by my husband. And that's some of the things. The livelihood piece of it, I learned that firsthand from my mother. My mother was a worker. She worked 2 jobs, went to school. I never wanted for anything. I never had luxury, but I always had what I needed. So when I came out the door, when I stepped out of her house, I never had to go back. I've always been there. I worked at 7-Eleven. So it didn't matter to me where I had to work at. I climbed all the way up. I don't have a college degree, but I made a salary commensurate to what a college grad makes. That was by the grace. I learned quick and I moved up quick. I was able to, catch on. I went to computer school to learn hands-on. By the time I got to the first law firm, legal secretaries, they got men that's legal secretaries. They make money. So that was one of the ways in which you get to livelihood. You're able to sacrifice your own mind having to wash dishes or stand up on your feet for minimum wage, because you know it's only going to be for a minute. That's one of the things about livelihood. You understand things going to change. So even though you might be, washing dishes right now, it is not going to last. It's going to change. That's one of the things about life. It will change. You don't have to worry about that. It's going to change. That's how you get your emotional strength and stamina, is knowing that this ain't going to last forever, and that carries you through. That's wisdom of a mother. You might be having it hard right now, but things will change, and you learn how to help them change. You be willing to help other people. I'm here because I want to help, because I was helped. I did not make it through life by myself. It was always a friend, an aunt, a cousin, somebody that helped me. Even this brother right here, still helping me today. So I always want to help because I've been helped. That's one of the things about life. As far as death is concerned, I lost my best friend, who was my oldest brother, when I was early. It took me 10 years to get over that loss. I couldn't fathom that, losing him. You know, but the day that I was freed from that, I understood what freedom felt like. To not have to be bogged down with, you know, self-pity, self-sorrow. That's a wrong path to go down. You gotta be strong in this life. You can't get nothing being weak. You know, it ain't nothing wrong with crying. That don't mean you weak. Tears is a way of strengthening yourself and flushing out. You know, you flush yourself out. It's cleansing. So it ain't nothing wrong with tears. I know we got all these men up in here. I just wanted to add something, a little spice to this. You know, because women, as opposed to men, aren't weak. I think in some instances, the men in my life, I exhibited strength to them that they didn't know existed. I have sons that have been to the penitentiary most of their life because they didn't want to listen. And here now today in 2013, now they got it here, they can hear me. But I never abandoned them. Never abandoned them. So there's no mistake that you can't fix as long as you wake up the next day. So when you're making choices out there, remember, if I walk away from this today, I got another chance at something tomorrow. But if you ain't willing to let things go, then you might not have no more chances. Somebody gonna be hurt because of your loss. If you die, somebody's gonna be hurt. So it's not just about seeing death around you. You look at the possibility of the people that's gonna be hurt if you was to die. Mothers hurt. You know, so bring something to him. Mother, they hurt, and that, you know, they all those sweet things, but mothers are strong too. They carry a lot. And if you got a girlfriend, I ain't talking about somebody.
And I've been shadowing different dentists just to get some experience on my resume. As far as love goes, I have family and friends for that. I'm not necessarily looking for someone. I just feel like when the time is right, that person will find me. As far as having, you know, a mate to spend the rest of my life with. With livelihood, again, I am working towards that, trying to go to dental school so that I can hopefully provide for my future family. As far as help and cooperation, I feel that I'm very helpful with other people. For example, while in college, I basically taught 3rd grade for 3 years, and I also helped in the after-school program. And even now, I still help students who have problems with stuff that they don't understand. And
I wanted to add to that because there are a couple of the young ladies I spoke to that said they wanted to do hair and fashion, and those are really high-paced, very stressful, very intense careers. You deal with a lot of different personalities. Some people come in and are really rude to you, and you just have to learn to not let that affect you. I mean, because you can't react to every adverse situation or adverse personality that comes at you. You just have to, you know, put up a barrier between yourself and that, and learn a way to cooperate and get along with everyone, no matter what it is, no matter what they say.
Even with people that don't like it.
Well, I will share. I know most of you have heard of Robin Givens, correct? Yeah, who that is. So I did a job with her. It was a series called Angel Street that they shot here many years ago. And she was just so rude to everyone. She went around all people's names. You know.
That's why Mike Tyson trained as he is now.
But as a crew person, I mean, I was responsible for her. I could not react to that. You know, of course, you know, someone's in your face, yelling, calling you names. Your first instinct is to, like, you know, go respond in kind, or, you know, deck someone. But you know, if you do that, and you only have one time to really do something like that, and your career could be ended. if that information gets out about you. And the same with in fashion. I mean, if you're, somewhere in Paris or New York and you're known for being a diva on the catwalk, then when they're booking people, they're going to go past your name because they see you don't cooperate with people, so they can't hire you.
And then still kind of piggyback on the whole love thing. Like once you learn to love yourself, then the job that you occupy or working in, it doesn't define who you are as a person. That's the job that you're doing. If you're gonna do an effective and an efficient job, you're gonna do that work. But you're not gonna always get satisfied customers. And so based on not running into these unsatisfied customers, they are gonna lash out on you, but it does not define who you are. So it's real key that you have to learn to love yourself first, so that way when someone do call you out of your name or call you a chosen name that you don't want to be called, then you stand firm on your own conviction of knowing who you are and just your own love for yourself. That you can hear it and not hear it, or say, I don't want to be like that person. I mean, whatever the case may be, the bottom line is that all of these are still under the umbrella of effort. Everyone, we just can't sit back and talk about any of these categories without applying some type of an effort. You got to apply the effort to all of these categories in order to get your experience and your result from it. And that way nobody have to come and tell you. You yourself will know it based on your own experience when that situation come about. And then you'll know how to handle it. And it's going to be practice, because you're going to get these experiences all the time in each one of these categories. And the more you wake up to it and see it, the better you're going to be able to handle it. But it still goes back to loving yourself first and have confidence in knowing that you can do whatever you feel like doing. All you have to do is apply the effort, not sit around talking about it, but actually get out there and do it. And then you'll get your own reward, because the whole time when we sit and talk about something without doing it, it always appears to seem harder than what it is. I know y'all done had these occasions when you actually do something and the first thing will come out and say, Dad, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. And that's the whole thing, you thinking it's gonna be bad instead of applying, doing it and then seeing for yourself it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Even on this love thing too, y'all can tolerate people behavior. We do it every day. We just pick and choose which one we want to tolerate. I can take your behavior, but I can't take her. But it's still the same thing.
How far have we got here? We still on number one?
Oh, we pretty much done, yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. Did every mentor get a chance to input? We need everybody's contribution of wisdom here. So I want to make sure you all don't cheat these young people of your own life experiences. All right, carry on. Very good.
Trial and error, I always say. Don't be afraid to fail. So if you're on this earth long enough, you try something, you gonna fail.
Yeah.
You gonna fall. You are. Let's be honest. Let's be real honest with ourselves. You're gonna fail in something if you're here long enough. But learn from your failures. Learn from your fall. Get up. And I heard I hear this all the time. Get up, wipe yourself, dust yourself off, and keep it moving. You learn from it, and you keep it moving. Keep moving. Don't stay right there. If you gotta cry, cry. If you gotta get angry, cuss just someone out, do that. Go back, apologize. I'm sorry, I was angry. Move on, and keep it moving. Keep it moving. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to succeed. And when you succeed, remember your failures. Gotta keep you grounded.
And when you fail, remember your success.
And remember your successes. There you go.
Because there's some great lessons. Y'all about to have fun out here. Y'all about to have fun. And it's not a piece of cake, but it's going to be good. These are all great lessons. You're going to get lessons all of the time.
So, Guru Dasa, we haven't heard much from you. You want to share with us some of your lessons on loss?
Well, I was going to start with cooperation. And maybe that'll dovetail into it. But it's just like what we're doing here today, which is we're here because we want to help. And we want to help because of what we do, and basically because of Dr. Ingram. But we're learning that if you got something, it's really not any good unless you share it or give it to someone else or help someone else. We're here at the Sankofa. We're here because somebody came before us to make it possible for us to be there. So I want to do something so that I can make it possible for somebody else to be able to do something. But if my attitude is not such that I can cooperate, that people gravitate toward me rather than are pushed away by me, then I don't have that help. And we all need somebody, because nobody makes it here by themselves. You're going to need somebody somewhere to help you. Regardless of what you think or how you feel, that's the case. I mean, nobody who has ever, whatever success story you hear, you're going to always hear how there was a person or some people or some situation that pushed this person forward where they didn't have the steam to go on their own. So you need that. Then when you make it, you're in a position to do that for somebody else. Now, loss, you're going to lose a job. You're going to lose a friend. Not necessarily to death. The relationship just ends. And how you internalize, how you take that, how you use that in your life's lesson will help you be a better person, will help you understand life more, because everything that happens is just a part of life. It's not you being singled out. It's not that you're a victim. It's simply that life happens this way. So if you can keep these things in mind, if you can always remember that you're all right, that you're okay, regardless of what you do. And as Charlie said, when you fall down, get up. Don't stay down there. It's no sin in falling down. Just get up, dust yourself off, and keep stepping. You know, don't set a goal for yourself and don't give up until you reach that. And use that in everything that you do. We all make mistakes. We all have made mistakes. We're going to make many more mistakes. But mistakes, if we never made mistakes, we couldn't appreciate the fact that we, you know, succeed as well. You know, there has to be that balance. So when you go out there, but it's exciting, and it's risk. But then, you know, it's like, if I step here, am I going to fall? You know? But just know that if you do fall, you're going to get back up. So, yeah, and it's, you know, I guess what I'm saying is, don't be afraid. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in life. Because just like you didn't get here by yourselves, there's something, somebody, somewhere out there that's just waiting for you to come along so that they can lend a hand. And if you, you know, your attitude will bring that person to you. You won't even have to do anything. I mean, that's just how it is. You know, and
I want you all to give them a hand, because they have chosen not just to be here for you all today, but these people in this room have been here for me for the last 15, 20 years of my life. This has been my village, and they have helped me, and they've helped me to understand those. So I want to thank you all for helping me and for being my village, and I want to give them a hand. So a lot of what you all hear from me comes from the people in this room. So if it's bad, blame them. If it's good, give them the credit. You see, when I first met them, when I first met the Ingram brothers here from the West Side, they didn't know anything about me, but they chose to reach out to help me. And I didn't quite understand that, because I was like, you know, how do you help somebody that you don't even really know that well? But for whatever reason, they chose to reach out and help me. And when I got to know them, I understood why, because that is what God has directed them to do. So there will be people in your life that will come to you that you have not even met yet, and that will come from all directions if you are ready. The universe will take care of that. It's set up like that. When you're ready for help, help will come to you. I can tell you about all kind of people in my life that saw things in me before I even imagined them. They told me I could be a teacher before I even thought about being a teacher. And it's funny because how do you see somebody in something that they don't even see themselves? Because that's the way the world works. There's people who have eyes. There are people in this world that got eyes, and they can see in you that which you can be before you even see it. All that you have to do is be open. And so you think things a little thing like the difference between having your pants up and down, that might be the difference in somebody reaching out and saying, you know what, I'm gonna help you, but he don't look like he's ready. You know, or how you say hello to somebody, or if you say hello to somebody. How you carry yourself means something. But there are people all around there who are looking to help. Okay. See, you look like somebody can help? Okay. So keep yourself open. That's what I would say to you. And God will take care of the rest. And people will reach. The village is all around you. So that's it for me.
You know, they say one of the greatest wishes in the world for a man is to live long enough to get some of that Social Security money that they put in for 40 years. You follow what I'm saying? And I think when you start looking at, you know, a brother like Bilal, that's to live long enough to get that Social Security, that in itself should be a motivator for you. That you actually know people that actually live long enough to collect on that Social Security. Because you're going to pay into it regardless, right? But to be able to get something out of it, right? So, we're going to open it up. We got about a minute, couple minutes. Anybody in here got any questions for anybody that's in here?
And I want to get some plans. That was true. Excuse me. I don't know if I heard right or not.
Yeah, he said you're going to China?
That's what it was? Yes. So what do you think about that? He was asking about you saying you're going to China.
What was that?
Right?
In the corner.
So what's your question?
He wanted to know if that was true.
Yeah, he's like, you going to another continent.
Well, actually, I work for a company that's a global company, and they're actually a German company, German-owned company, and we've just really started getting established in the Americas. So what we're trying to do is grow the Americas. In Europe, Germany, France, already well established. The plant in China's been around for about 7 years. So I've been with this company now for not quite a year yet. So what they're doing is they're sending me all around, like on a circuit, so I can get to learn the culture of each of the different facilities, so that as I grow into my position, I'm able to interact with those different facilities. But what you have to remember is this world is so much bigger than just your hood. And when you learn how to interact with people outside of your neighborhood, you'll see yourself just take off. So, again, to his point, the brother here point earlier, just be open to it and be ready. You'll travel the world. There's some long plane rides, so 14, 18, 20 hours on a plane, but you'll enjoy it.
Great question, though.
Yeah.
No, it's just about time. I want to thank everybody for coming.
Introduce yourself, because some of these young men are going to be seeing you soon. So,
okay, actually, Hi, my name is Mitzi Walker, and I am the special ed teacher here at Community Service West High School. I'm actually a registered nurse, and I've been a registered nurse for about 20 plus years. And I just switched over from nursing to teaching in March, and I wound up over at Gateway Foundation probably in March. So I will be returning there probably in about 2 weeks when school starts. So if any of you guys are there, you'll probably see me there in about 2 weeks' time. But I do want to thank you all for coming out and enjoying this day with us. We're ending up our summer program actually tomorrow. So I do want to thank you all from the bottom of our heart, because I think our kids need to see this and learn, hear another side of things from different people in our community. Also, hopefully, our guys, did anybody ask about any employment opportunities with this?
They've already started.
Did anybody ask?
right,
Okay,
yeah,
because that's the purpose of an education, is to get us out there to make us gainfully employed. Now, we got a few of them that want to come here for culinary arts, too.
So we
Somebody
want
come
to
here to
see
be a
you
chef.
afterwards, for those of you who want to come here for
Who's
culinary
interested in
arts.
coming here, so you'll stay back and see us. I know we're not putting you all out, but for those that have to leave at 2:30, we have to make that available for you all. But we're not putting you out. You all definitely can stay and talk a little longer if you want to.
All right.
Okay?
I thank you,
So
Ms.
thank you
Hearn.
all so very much.
All right. The guys that wanted to come see me.
Anybody wants to go talk about the employment?